starting off in a tabletop position. So come onto your mat, take your shoulders over your wrist and your hips over your knees. We're gonna get a little bit of energy here today. Look down at your hands and spread your fingers out so much that you can see the mat in between each of your fingers. Take a slow breath in and a sigh out. From your tabletop position, close your eyes and let the tops of your feet come onto the mat. Feel the crown of your head extend forward as you press down into your palms. Try to keep a little bend in your elbows here. We're just feeling the mat underneath us and starting to engage our arms a little bit, like my arms were actually engaged here. From here, lower your belly down towards the mat. Lift up through your heart. And stay there for a second. Re-spread your fingers, press into your palms, and pull the heel of your hands back so that you can feel your heart pull through your arms. Try to stay lifted here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, round your back, tuck your chin in, and press your hands down. Now shift a little forward and back. Be gentle with your wrist here. It's our first one, so we're not moving fast at all. We're just getting to know each other. We're just getting to know ourselves on the mat. And we're starting this together. You'll see what I mean soon. From here, take your shoulders back over your wrist, press down into your palms, and we'll take a few cat-cows together. Take a breath, lower the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round your back, chin tucks in towards your chest, palms press down. 2 more, inhale. Breathe in as long as you can. Exhale. 1 more, inhale. Re-spread your fingers, check in with your hands. Lift your head, you got it. Exhale. Now come to neutral. Take your knees wide to the edges of the mat and reach your hands towards the top. Let your hips push back and come into a child's pose. From your child's pose, let your chest sink in between your thighs. Now you can rest your forearms on the mat, or you can engage a little bit. Lift your forearms up and then gently start to move side to side. As you move, you breathe. Slow breaths in. Smooth breaths out. All right, now come into your belly. So slowly roll forward. You can take your knees in some if you like. Let the tops of your feet come onto the mat and softly land onto your belly. Now take your hands underneath your shoulders, re-spread. Whoa, that was weird. Spread your hands again. Press down into your palms and gently lift your chest. Feel your back body engage here. As you lift up through your chest, notice your shoulders. If they're up by your ears, take them down and pull your shoulder blades together behind your back. Inhale. Exhale as you lower down and release. Take your hands out to the side and roll your wrists around. Wiggle your hands open and close. Now take your hands back underneath your shoulders, palms press, chest and your heart lifts up. Take your shoulders down. Exhale your belly to the mat. 1 more. Inhale. Slow breath In. Exhale. Soften as you come down. Push back to your child's pose. Hips are towards the heels. Arm reach to the top. We'll take that cobra pose one more time. Slowly start to shift your body forward, taking your shoulders over your wrists and allowing your hips to sink down. As your hips sink, your heart lifts up. Feel free at any time to adjust your arms, your legs. Start to learn your body. Once your hips are sinking, lift up through your heart. And then exhale, push your hips back towards the heels. I like to bring my toes together as I push back. You can try and see what works for you. Let's go 2 more times. Inhale forward. Shoulders over wrist, hips down, heart up. Engage your glutes just a little and pull your belly button towards your spine. Pull your belly button in. Exhale, you push back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, you push back. Come up to a tabletop. Take your knees in and step your right foot to the top of the mat. Your right knee is going to come over your ankle. At any moment and any time you practice, you're on your mat. Take all the little tiny movements that you want to adjust yourself. It's our first flow together. All right, I have a block here under my right hand. If you have a block or something like a block, you can bring it there. Once you're ready, start to lift through your chest, your inner thighs, the insides of your legs, hug them together so you know that your legs are active, your legs are working. Now take your hands out to the side like a T. Or you can also keep your right hand down on that block to help you with balance. But as literally my hands are shaking as you're here, just see what's going on in your body. Just try to stay steady and breathe. Again, maybe you use that right hand to help you balance. One last breath here. If you can lean back a little, see what it's like to lean back and press your heart up. Woo. Exhale, take your hands down to the mat. Straighten your right leg and push your hips back towards your heel. Bend back into your right knee as you plant the right foot down. Sink your hips, lift through the heart. Your block is there to support you. As you exhale, push the hip back. And let your chest come down towards the thigh. One more. Inhale. Maybe on this last one, you really feel the insides of your legs hug together so you can lift and extend your arms out to the side. Exhale, take your hands down and push back. Rebend the low right knee. Step it back. Bring your hips to the heels. Find your child pose. Knees can come wide. And breathe. Make your way back up to tabletop. And maybe you move your block or whatever you have to the left side. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Bring your knee over the ankle. We're setting up just like we did on the other side. Knee over ankle. And then lift up through the chest. Take a second to settle into it. Notice where you're at. Notice how this side is, because not every side, you only have 2 sides, but each side can be different, can feel different here. So this is my side. My right leg is a little bit, so I'm trying to be gentle on my right side. Once you feel good in your hips and in your low lunge, take your arms out to the side. Take a second to extend through the arms, lift up through the heart. Feel where you're at. Notice what your body's doing. Start to build that awareness in your body. Inhale to lift up, lean back. Exhale, take your hands to the mat. Just making sure that wasn't like a snake. Extend the hips back towards the heel. Maybe your hand is on the block. As you come forward, go slow, bring the hips down, send your arms out to the side. Exhale, hips push back. I don't know if they're gonna be, if that sound is like an issue, but it's like nature. Last one here, inhale forward. Exhale back. Bend your left knee, step your left foot to the back of the mat. And let your hips come to the heels for child's pose. Before we get going with the day, come up to your tabletop, tuck your toes under, and come into a downward dog. But for this down dog, keep your knees bent and walk your hands a little closer towards your feet. Bend your elbows a little and start to pedal your heels, reaching one heel down at a time towards the mat. Now settle into your down dog. For this down dog, bend your knees and let your head relax down towards the mat. We're here for 5 breaths. At any time, if you want, you can bring your knees down, adjust, take whatever you need, and then come back up. We're here for 2 more breaths. Let your jaw relax. Smooth breath in and out. Lower your knees. Let the hips rest back towards the heels. Take your hands down. Long breath in. As you exhale, soften the jaw, the shoulders, the wrist. I'll see you soon.